People are being fired left, right, and center.
Online retailer Amazon has confirmed a coming round of mass layoffs, making it the latest tech giant to slash jobs.
Google parent company Alphabet is the latest tech giant to slash its workforce.
Meta is preparing for another round of job cuts.
Asking what the big tech jobs cull means for Silicon Valley.
Mass tech layoffs shake industry to its core. Over 93,000 people have been laid off due to a mass tech layoff, and it's clear that the industry is in turmoil. It's a grim picture, and even tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon have been unable to avoid the axe. In the past year alone, they have collectively laid off over 70,000 employees. That's a staggering number, isn't it? The tech industry, once a beacon of innovation and opportunity, now finds itself crushing under the weight of high interest rates, sluggish growth, and the looming threat of a possible recession in 2024. It's a sobering reminder that no industry is immune to the harsh realities of a fluctuating economy. The layoffs have been a brutal wake-up call to tech employees and the industry as a whole. The once coveted perks of tech jobs, such as free meals, massages, and unlimited vacation time, are now gone in a flash, leaving many employees reeling from the shock. So, what has led to this downfall of tech's golden age? The reasons are multifaceted, but primarily the financial instability that experts have been warning about for some time now. Today, we're going to be discussing the recent tech layoffs that have been making headlines. Why are these layoffs happening, and what will be the ripple effect on the industry? The pampered tech culture crumbles. Many tech workers were promised a glamorous lifestyle that major companies have been providing for the last few decades. The rise of the tech industry brought with it a culture of luxury and extravagance that was unlike anything seen before. Tech companies went to great lengths to provide their employees with a pampered lifestyle, complete with amenities like gourmet meals, in-house massages, and game rooms. The press dubbed these perks as a playground for adults, and many critics wondered how long companies could sustain such opulence. But for a while, it seemed like the good times would never end. At Google, employees were treated to an array of ridiculous benefits, including on-site haircuts, free dry cleaning, and even a slide to take them from one floor to the next. Other companies like Facebook boasts a bowling alley, an arcade, and a bike repair shop. And let's not forget about paid vacation and unlimited sick leave. The tech industry's over-the-top benefits have been like a tropical paradise, but now that the storm clouds have rolled in, the once vibrant palm trees are withering, and the sand is slipping through their fingers. The same companies who once showered their employees with these extravagant benefits have now blindsided them, leaving thousands feeling abandoned and confused. What do the CEOs have to say? Many called the massive layoffs a cold-hearted approach to workforce cuts. Business Insider calls it a boneheaded decision made by CEOs, and while some bosses are owning up to their mistakes and feel obvious remorse, others have had a more harsh approach, blaming it all on the economic pressures and taking no ownership of their own actions. Tech CEOs shouldn't be making $280 million a year or even $1 a year. They should be fired for poorly managing some of the largest companies in the world, writes Ed Zitron of Business Insider. He's not wrong. After the pandemic, tech companies across the board all went on a hiring spree. This is because, after the pandemic, the economic conditions improved quickly in the fall of 2020, much faster than tech companies had anticipated. In the US, the government issued stimulus checks and enhanced unemployment benefits, making the demand for consumer goods such as electronics, PlayStations, Xboxes, and smartphones explode. Though the consumer gold rush stopped quickly after the public burned through their stimulus money. Not only that, but in March 2022, the Federal Reserve hiked up interest rates, making it more expensive for these companies to borrow money. The same tech companies that went on a hiring spree did a 180-degree turn and began to start cutting workers, and it seems that these companies bit off more than they could chew. In fact, Elon Musk's first order of business after taking over Twitter was to fire half of the 7,500 employee workforce. And just in February alone, Dell and Zoom both cut over 8,000 employees from their business. Google's CEO Sundar Pichai also received backlash when several long-term employees and high-performing staff members were delivered the crushing blow of their layoff via an impersonal email. One engineer took to Twitter to express his frustrations of the layoffs and the way that it was done. He tweets, "It's hard for me to believe that after 20 years at Google, I unexpectedly find out about my last day via an email. What a slap in the face. I wish I could have said goodbye to everyone face to face." Imagine the pain of devoting 2 entire decades of your life to a company which then abruptly fires you through a pathetic email. Talk about adding salt to the wound. Many ex-Googlers have criticized the abrupt and impersonal nature of the terminations. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, now known as Meta, handled the terminations a bit differently. He made a company-wide video announcement and said the following, "I know there must be just a range of different emotions. I want to say up front that I take full responsibility for this decision. I'm the founder and CEO. I'm responsible for the health of our company, for our direction, and for deciding how we execute that, including things like this. And this was ultimately my call. And it was one of the hardest calls that I've had to make in the 18 years of running the company. And a lot of why it's hard is, obviously, it has a big impact on your lives, but also for our mission. We're losing people who... You've really put your heart and soul into this place." He then stated that employees who were impacted by these layoffs will receive 16 weeks of pay and an additional 2 weeks for every year of service. Microsoft's had a more unique and heavily criticized approach of dealing with the layoffs. Through yet another impersonal email, CEO Satya Nadella told employees the company was living through times of significant change and proceeded to fire them. Right after Microsoft executed 10,000 job cuts, the company announced it will be investing over $10 billion in OpenAI, the research lab behind ChatGPT and DALL-E. The worst part, the announcement was made merely a few days after the job cuts. How generous of them. It's almost as if they're saying, we don't need all of these employees now that we have this shiny new AI technology to play with. An uncertain future. It is important to consider what this trend means for the future of the technology sector. On one hand, some argue that layoffs are simply necessary, especially with the current uncertainty of the economy. However, others are fearful. They believe that this current trend points to a fundamental shift in the tech industry. As machines become more advanced, they are increasingly able to take over routine and repetitive tasks that were once performed by human workers. This could lead to a decrease in the overall number of jobs available, particularly those that involve manual data entry, analysis, or repetitive coding tasks. Share your thoughts in the comments below and tell us if you think these layoffs are a necessary evil or a sign of a larger problem. The rise of AI and automation also brings up some concerns about social responsibility. Are these tech companies really prioritizing job creation and retention, or are they just focused on their profits? It's time for some of these CEOs to step up and show they care about their employees, not just their bottom line. It looks like the tech industry is finally feeling the heat. Mass layoffs, executives fleeing like rats from a sinking ship, and employees getting the boot left and right. It's a tough time for everyone, and the tech industry is no exception. But hey, at least the CEOs are still raking in their millions. What do you think this means for the future? Does it point to a dwindling economy and possible recession? Does AI and automation have something to do with this? Or do you think this is a temporary hiccup and the industry will rise up stronger in the end? Like if you hope the future gets brighter from here. Subscribe to our channel for more great content like this. Thanks for watching.